Hey guys, welcome to Denver, home of, well,
the 0-2 Broncos?
The 0-2 Broncos, I guess you could say, which is kind of like being the 0-2 Ravens if we want to be petty.
Oh, speaking of petty, game ball for Russell Wilson today, and Justin Fields called it the petty
That's
game
actually
ball.
pretty good. I cannot petty that because I walked up to Patrick Queen afterward and said, "Do you see what your old team did today?" He goes, 0-2. He's Chris Halleck. I'm Dan Kovacevic. We're from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Steelers 13, Broncos 6. An odd game, an uncomfortable game at times.
UGLY.
Yeah.
In the second half, it was.
In the second half, it was, but
the first half encouraging for this. Okay. This may sound hot take-ish. Some people are going to look at this and be like, "Oh, it's the same old offense." No, it is not. No, it is not. Okay, 10 points. I mean, one of them, like 7 of them for sure, actual touchdown taken off the board because of a penalty.
Yep.
Another one, 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 penalties by Broderick Jones.
Same drive.
Killed a drive. No, it was a different drive.
Oh, yeah,
there was one that started on their 1-yard line.
That drive was 11 plays for 48 yards. You will never see that again in your life. Okay.
From their own 1-yard line. And I mean, with where Chris Boswell can make a field goal from here, they only needed about another 10 yards to be in field goal range.
It's a strange game. But if there's one, I feel, legitimate, if you want to call it a complaint or a criticism or whatever, it's that the offensive line continues to have a lot of growth that it needs to execute. Okay. That's not a surprise when you go into the season, and it's not like we didn't talk about this beforehand either, because it was only the #1 subject all summer, is that if you've got Troy Fautanu,
first NFL start today.
First round pick, first NFL start, but it's not going to happen like that. Zach Frazier was a house on fire in the first half, was not as effective in the second half. Broderick Jones. Guys, Broderick Jones, 3 penalties. I asked him about that afterward, and here's what he had to say.
Penalties, did those kind of like catch up on you, or just the game started coming too fast for you?
Not really. It's just, defenders flop, refs throw flags. That's the end of that. So really not much you can do about it. Just next play mentality. Keep going.
Now, I counted only about 7 shrugs there in his answer to me, okay? And that's kind of his personality, too. He doesn't let things bother him. But there's a reason that was the question that I asked. Did he feel like the game sped up on him? That's not a question that I'd ask lightly of any professional athlete, because it's suggesting that you're uncomfortable. We saw this kid, Chris, for a whole year and never mentioned his name.
No, it's starting to get to the point where it is beginning to be troublesome and even worrisome. This is a first-round pick. This is a first-round talent that they traded up to get.
Yep.
He's been a starter. Like, I don't want to hear anything about this left tackle, right tackle stuff. Yes, he would probably play better on the left side, but 3 penalties is 3 penalties. I don't care how tic-tacky they were being about.
And they were.
That's fine. But, you have to understand how it's any other game. You have to understand how the officials are calling the game and then adjust. You can't just keep doing it. If they're being ticky-tacky with the hold calls, don't hold them at all.
Now, Fautanu, on the other hand, he acquitted himself pretty well. I thought. He went against a pretty formidable competitor in Denver's Cooper, and you didn't hear his name.
No.
And you didn't see him getting flagged. And he started the game. Don't mistake this, by the way. Broderick Jones got benched, meaning there was supposed to be a rotation. Neither of them would talk openly about what they were told the rotation was. It was just, you go out there or you go out there. They both knew that Fautanu was going to start. Okay.
Yeah.
Jones goes out there to sub him out, to try to keep him involved, whatever, and flops.
Kills the drive.
Kills a drive and kills momentum, kills deflating the other side, kills sucking the crowd out of it. That drive should have been a touchdown and a big, just dagger of a touchdown drive, and he ended that by himself.
Yeah.
Now Troy plays well, and Troy. Well, here I asked Troy just basically if he sees progress with the offensive line, because that's really what we're gonna need to see here in the weeks to come.
Do you feel like there's progress being made? with each half, each series?
Yeah, I think so, man. We want to put more points on the board, score more touchdowns. But yeah, I really feel like this group is taking a really big step. And for me, it's constantly just watching over all the older guys and seeing what they're doing every day to get better.
So Chris, here's a hypothetical for you. You see this game, and you see the way the offensive line played, and you talked about it in the press box the entire game, the way Justin Fields was throwing the football and the accuracy. Now tell me what's missing from this offense and how incredibly fixable is it?
Really, right now, they just have to clean things up.
That's all it is. They all said this downstairs.
Every single person. It's not just a Mike Tomlin cop-out or anything like that. Every single player you talk to, I talk to, every single player said it just comes down to penalties, cleaning this stuff up. Again, they left 10 points out there. Actual touchdown taken off the board. 3 more points at least if Broderick Jones doesn't derail that one penalty. We're talking 23 points. 23 points in Denver would have been okay. This offense looks good.
Oh, on top of that, I mean, keep talking about the snowball effect, but if the offense runs up the score early the way they should have, now you got Bo Nix throwing the ball all over the place, and now you got some defensive scores. Do you see what I'm saying, though? Yeah. Everything to me went to either the offensive line or to these flag-happy refs. Not that they're picking on the Steelers. They don't do that. They were bad both ways. They were just bad.
Yeah, it wasn't a greatly officiated game, but again, that stuff that's out of your control. I will say this. The numbers don't show up well in the box score for the offense, but how many yards
second half,
but how many yards were gained via penalty? And Justin Fields said that was actually part of the game plan. They knew that the Broncos were one of the most, if not the most, flagged defense when it came to DPIs last year. So they were going to take shots.
He went all Flacco on the process.
Hey,
twice.
Pickens caught the one.
Yeah.
Now that wasn't a DPI. That was the one where Broderick got the penalty. But
Van Jefferson deep when he had his arm held back. And I love the Flacco play. As long as it's in the NFL, use it. If you know that they can't cover your guys, if you know they've got to pull the arms or whatever it is that the Broncos were doing, that's great. Now, defensively, Chris, this is really hard to analyze, isn't it? Because those guys were – if that's not the worst offense in the NFL, I don't want to see the one that is.
6 points allowed. They didn't let them score a touchdown. And even then, even when the Broncos went to like the hurry up offense where the defense has to just get back and prevent, they still only allowed a field goal. They didn't even allow a touchdown with that. I mean, it just showed where this defense is compared to how bad that offense is.
Yeah, and also right. And I think that the Steelers' next big test as a defense will be their first. And I respect what Kirk Cousins has done in the NFL, but that wasn't the best Kirk Cousins. Okay.
Not bad.
And now you've got the Chargers coming in next week. Justin Herbert, who got banged around a little bit today, but came back. That's going to be their test. That's going to be the matchup. It's funny, for once we're going to be talking about something other than Steelers offense.
Yeah, it'll be good to see this defense actually play a legitimate quarterback, a head coach who's had success at the NFL level. It's been a while, but won a national championship with Michigan last year, has been to a Super Bowl with the 49ers as head coach. So it'll be a good test for them. But yeah, today it was just showing like, okay, this defense is just way better than this offense.
Bottom line, as I was leaving the room, Pat Freiermuth motions by holding up 2 fingers and then by holding up a fist. That's how it goes. First place in the AFC North, undefeated, can't take the W's away from them.
2 road games.
89 degrees, high elevation, altitude. A couple of the players told me that it did affect them.
Yeah.
Early on, they said, but not dramatically so. But it's a real thing. They made the Steelers put the black shirts on, the whole deal. And this is not nothing. It's not nothing. These aren't video games. These are real humans playing in real mountains back here. So, all right, guys, we'll see you all week on DK's Double Shot, the new afternoon show that we're doing that shows up your way on all platforms at 4 p.m. And bye.